This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
It's the final countdown.
28 days left for President Biden to be president until January 20th, 2 p.m.
There's a lot of damage between now and then, John.
I hope not, because the truth is, I'm not sure President Biden knows. His wife should know, maybe. And whoever's pressing that button, I'll give you an example, Rita. And by the way, in the studio, we have a full house in the studio. We have Judge Richard Weinberg. We have Craig Eaton representing the GOP in Brooklyn, among other things. And we have Congressman Peter King.
Great to be here.
Congressman, and he's got his Notre Dame jacket on.
Go.
I was going to say he's definitely Irish.
Yeah, the Fighting Irish.
Legendary Congressman
beat
Peter
Indiana,
King. Legendary.
Indiana last weekend. Okay.
Now, with all these things going on with migrants, the murder of that woman.
Oh, it's horrible, John.
I mean, being burnt to death. There can't be anything worse than being burnt to death.
Oh, and you know the thing is, John, too.
Do
now
we know who she is yet?
We don't know,
they
but
don't know yet.
But what we do know is this guy, the one who did it, 33-year-old from Guatemala, and he came into the country illegally twice. 2 times. First, he got into the country, John, in 2018. They deported him. Then he came back in. They believe he's one of the 1 or 2 million gotaways.
Did he pay for the subway, or he jumped the turnstile again?
I would imagine he jumped the fare, but that is the least of his worries because now he's facing murder charges. And John, you want to hear how horrible this is? This guy, he actually, when they busted him, thank goodness it was a bunch of high school kids who saw the APB out on the on the New York Police Department and said, "Oh, this is the guy. He's actually now on my train." They called up. The police busted him. Luckily, just soon afterwards, he still had the lighter in his pocket where he lit the woman on fire to death. It's horrible.
Originally, they said that he also had lighter fluid.
Yes.
Did he have it? Or
I don't know if we just know that he had the lighter. Apparently, he doused her with lighter fluid.
Yeah, he would have had to have doused her with something because the lighter wouldn't have worked.
Going back.
And then
yes, it had to be a little lighter fluid or something.
Yeah, something.
Now, going
Alcohol
back,
bottles.
Whoever pressed the button to have these bad guys. Look, I believe in immigration. I like good immigrants. But whoever has these bad guys shipped in with knowledge that they're bringing in murderers and convicts, I mean, shouldn't they be held responsible, Congressman?
Yeah, I mean, President Biden's first day in office, he basically signed the executive order opening the borders. And he was even saying, come on in. They had to know. I mean, if you're letting everybody in, you know that the bad guys are going to try and get in. That's for sure. Absolutely.
Do we have people? Did President Biden have stupid people in charge?
I don't know. He did it himself, or he had very liberal, progressive people who think this is good for America.
Did he have stupid people in charge? Or do you have people in charge that did it on purpose to hurt America?
Right, who had an ideology.
All Americans to listen to us. We only got 10 days till the new year. And, I mean, what is the truth?
It's insane, John. And by the way, you bring up a great point because now we're learning so much more about Joe Biden and his mental incapacity. So it hits the head on the question.
Clue.
Right. So who was pulling the trigger? Who was running the country and making the decisions?
You had
like
all those Biden people.
Right.
You had Obama's, had Biden people all around him.
Well,
you had Valerie Jarrett.
Yep.
Susan Rice.
These were Obama
people.
Yeah,
but we have to find out.
Yes.
People say to me, is Trump going to go after the Democrats? I say, we better go after the people that hurt the American people. I'm putting my foot down on that.
Absolutely. It shouldn't be Republican or Democrat. If you did something bad,
if
I
somebody
agree.
pressed the button to intentionally hurt the American people.
Knowingly, right. Knowingly. I mean, that's, and I agree with you.
Rosenberg going to say it? F them.
Well, we wouldn't say that, but
No.
I would say
We would never
it's
say
treasonous.
that. We would never say that.
Something worse?
Seven dirty words on radio and television.
Exactly. And by the way, speaking,
I didn't say anything bad.
You didn't. You hinted, but that's okay.
I just used an
Why don't we ask Michael
Whatever
Goodwin when he comes on? If anyone knows, it's Michael Goodwin.
Absolutely. By the way, the other thing too, you guys, speaking of which, John, and it gets worse. We just found out that Joe Biden is commuting the sentences for federal death row inmates.
37 out of 40.
Yes.
And these are child killers.
Yeah, these are some of the worst of the worst. I mean, one guy, I read the story of one guy. He went on a camping trip with a mother and daughter, slit the mother's throat, slit the daughter's throat, and then killed a couple
So he's
other
letting
people.
him out so he can do it again?
He's commuting his sentence, so he's not getting
Which
the
means he
death
won't
penalty.
get killed, but he's life in prison.
Wait.
Still, he's not
I'm-
entitled
don't
to
forget,
live. I'm sorry.
I'm a college dropout, so I have to go through you guys across the way. What was it? The recidivity rate? That means what are the chances of those 37? How many of those 37?
Well, they're not going to get out.
They're not going to
are
get
gonna
out.
slit somebody else's
No, they're
throat.
not going to get
Well,
out.
wait a second. Excuse me. You have people in the prisons who work there in the correctional facilities. The corrections officers, all the doctors, all the social workers, all the drug rehab counselors, the visitors, all those people, other inmates, all those people are potential
When
victims
you're
of
in
other
prison
murder.
with no chance of parole, you have nothing to lose by killing a correct
Exactly
person.
right. It's a free ride.
I saw a movie like that the other night.
John, you see more movies.
If you're going to
the
issue a
best
pardon,
ones.
if you're going to issue a pardon and you want to do it for someone, you have to do it for someone that didn't kill children and women and other people. I mean,
And what about
Why
the
would you
woman
show
who's making
mercy?
money?
Ridiculous. Why would you
making
show
money
mercy?
by
Right.
recycling needles and people got HIV?
Yeah, why would you show mercy? I'm sorry. Why would you show mercy on these kind of people? These people deserve
That don't deserve
they
mercy.
deserve
Let's
the ultimate
go
punishment.
back to the basics. How can anybody believe that Biden knew what he was signing?
Right.
1,500 in one day.
Right,
He
who
never knew.
knows?
Thank you.
I don't think he knew.
Right, it was like, hey, sign this, sign
somebody
this.
brought in the pile.
Yes.
And by the way, how do you know they didn't use the automatic signature
Yes.
machine?
By the way, that is one thing. There are some requests now to be looked into to the House Ethics Committee to see, was it auto pen? Was it his signature? Did he know? I think it should be looked into. It's a bona fide question to John's point. Who was helping him sign or saying, hey, honey, sign
I think
this?
the American people are entitled to know the truth.
Zaxby's Sensation Salad is so much more than a plain old salad. It's a salad, which begs the question, at what point does a salad stop being a salad and become a salad? Is it when you add Zaxby's fried chicken to it? Crunchy wontons? Asian slaw? Citrus vinaigrette? Teriyaki glaze? Sweet and spicy sauce? Or is it when you top it all with a handmade perfectly fried egg roll? Without a doubt, the egg roll. The Sensation Salad, only at Zaxby's.